Okay. This is a GAL MOVFE 2500 door operator. It's a linear door operator, and technically it's belt driven. You go right directly from the motor to the pulley there, and it connects to this smaller belt that actually is connected to the door.
Nice.
Where's
the voice controller?
The voice controller on this is actually inside the elevator. And we'll open this. The elevator itself, the controller is a smart rise.
Yeah.
So you got your car top box up here.
My grandma's building, I believe, has the motion MCE.
Yeah. We'll see some of those today too. So then here is basically your drive, and then here's the main door board.
But it also says GAL.
Correct. And then when you go to work on it, you want to change door speeds and just overall operation of the door. If you want, you can hold that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get it plugged in for you. And now that's the handheld programmable parameter unit. So you can change your door speeds, your slowdowns, your torque, whatever you want, you can change all.
How do you fix it if it did like the door slamming or?
So you can go into the parameter, but if you turn it over, here's all your parameters.
That's how you do it.
Yes, you can change it all through all the open and the close are right here, and you can change whatever you want on there to make it run the way you want.
Nice.
The motor has an encoder on the back side of the shaft, and that's how it knows where it's at from fully closed to fully open. It knows exactly the position the door is in the entrance. And then this right here, this is a door close limit. It's operated by a magnet. And then you have the door fully open, or DOL we call it. Door open limit is on all the way at the very back here.
Cool.
So, and right now it's just holding, and the motor is it's running at 2 hertz, and it basically it's kind of holding itself closed at this point. It's got a signal to tell it to close, but that's the command right there for that. So this is a serial communication. So
people. I wonder if anyone is wanting to use this right now.
They might. Well, we're here early enough that we should be okay.
Yeah. Plus, this is a service.
Yes. So I'm going to unplug this.
How many service elevators are there here?
I'm sorry?
How many service elevators are there here?
Service elevators? Oh my gosh. There's 40-some elevators for just the mall. Service elevators, I'm guessing there's probably maybe 20.
So there's a total of 67 probably? 67 elevators, do you think?
No, I think the whole property
has 47.
Think about it. Yeah, I think the whole property.
It says 27 over there.
Well, what happened is some elevators they've torn out and they just didn't replace. So the numbering here is definitely different.
Yeah.
It's not accurate.
Did you modernize this one?
We did. This one was modernized last year. It was a Dover DMC, and we modernized it to a Smart Rise. And we'll go down there in the machine room. I'll show you that too. I can't get this in here.
Okay.
I hate to leave it open out here, but the technician must have felt that was best. There's a bracket kit where we can mount this thing on the inside, where it stays inside this cover. I don't know why we didn't do that. Yeah, we just didn't get the kit. See, originally the data tag on it says Dover on it. 4,000 pound elevator, 150 foot a minute. And then the landing system, if you look over the top of that crosshead, you can see a couple of LED lights. And it looks like a barcode like you'd use at a grocery store. And that's how it knows where it's at from top to bottom. And then the leveling vane is that little See the bracket that holds the tape, and then you see the vein that's next to it. And that's got your door zone on it, so it's got to be in that vicinity before it will actually let the doors open.
How much companies has this have this model used?
Oh, they've had a lot of different companies over the years.
What was it before Schindler?
I believe it was Kone. Way back when I started, we had it when it was back in Montgomery days. Just gonna search.
Yeah.
There it goes. So we'll go down in the machine room, and you can take a look at that. Okay, they'll probably take the call now. Go ahead. There you go. It's coming up to get us. So part of the specification for this job is that they want to have position indicators at every single floor.
Yeah, it's nice to know where the elbows at.
So when I designed these fixtures here, they really wanted them in the push button. I'm so afraid they're going to get punched out on the new elevators we're going to do, which I'll show you those. Some other elevators we're going to modernize. I put them up high where it's a position indicator hall lantern combination.
Which one is it level? No.
Is it a little bit low?
Yeah. Right.
Go down to the dock level.
Isn't it a little bit low?
Just barely.
Yeah.
3/8 of an inch per elevator code. Do you hear the little bit of a noise?
Yeah.
Needs a little bit of oil
Yeah.
on the guide rails.
It's kind of hard to keep
They're
that.
Dover Omega rails that we ended up
Keeping.
cleaned up the
Yeah.
guides and put some new inserts on there. There's a lot of good setup for it. So let's go this way here.
So this is where you're parked, right?
We're parked right on the other side of this wall. So what we did here, you see we get a Bormax pump unit, submersible. You got your valve, you got your muffler, and it's got oil level switches in this one.
Here?
I'm sorry?
Is there a doorstop?
No. If you want me to sit there so you can take a picture from outside?
Yeah.
This, how heavy is it? This one, right? I mean, look at the shot. There you go. It's sticky.
Still oil.
I don't think, it's not oil. I don't know what it is. It's got a oil cooler on it, which is part of the spec for the job, but this elevator doesn't run that much. It's just one of those consultant things.
Yeah.
They wanted to make sure if they ever needed it, it was there.
Which service always used most often?
See it again?
Which service always used most often?
What service? I'm sorry. say it one more time.
What service always is it used most often?
There's another one over at the big dock, and that thing is used constantly. It's very, very busy. I'll show you that one too. So it's a smart rise. You got your solid state motor starter here.
Yeah.
This is your battery lowering, so that if they lose power and the disconnect is still in the on position, it'll lower it down and let the
But
whoever's entrapped.
Will it still run if you use power?
If you lose power and that's in the full on position, like building power, all it does is lower it down and open the doors and let the person out. And it will. The only button that works is the door open button. It will not. It'll close back up, but you cannot place any calls. They will not register when it's in that mode, emergency. Battery lowering.
No, newer ones. So that's what you use when it's out of order.
Yes. We have our own stickers. It's got our company name on it. And it's
What
just
is-
the mall will sometimes put their own on there.
What does Zara use for their company, for their elevator? What does Zara use for the elevator?
Who uses?
What company does Zara use for the elevator?
I don't know.
I feel like it's Schindler because that seems like it's every single elevator there. In Zara is Schindler.
Old test tags.
No, Schindler.
Yeah, we should have thrown them away. Sometimes these guys like to keep them for reference. I don't like it. And then there's our maintenance chart right up there, hanging right here. So,
Cool.
let's see what our motor is. 40 horse at 120 starts per hour, or it's 50 horse at 80 starts per hour.
Is that good?
It's good. It's dual rated. So this thing here, it just doesn't get that much use. But that's the way they do these motors now. They're dual rated for 80 starts and 120 starts. So if you have it at 40 horsepower, and we're running this job here is 480 volt, we should have 52 amps. So let's look what we got for our 52. And then our starting amps, which is how the motor ramps up to speed, we got it at 152. It's a little higher than I like. I like doing about 250% of what the overload current is.
Yeah.
That's obviously 300%.
But is
But there's not much to these smart rides.
Wait, isn't it code that you have to have a fire extinguisher in your machine room?
It's right there.
Nice.
Normally it's hanging on the wall, but the customer, that's their responsibility. Yeah, they put a drop ceiling in when they modernized it. They put air conditioning in. They got a disconnect for the oil cooler. And then you have a disconnect for cab lights.
What is that? That's to turn it off.
Yes, this here will turn off the machine room air conditioning.
How do you turn off the elevator if it needs to be served? If it needs to be fixed? How do you need to turn off the elevator if it needs to be fixed?
We normally turn it off here at the disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
We'll turn it off there, and then we'll lock it out and tag it out.
Then put the sign on it.
And sometimes you put a sign on it. It just depends. If you're just doing service, we won't lock them out. Only maybe if you're doing a repair and you're afraid that somebody else is going to try to. Knowing the mall security, they think they know what they're doing most of the time. They'll just come in here and just turn the damn thing back on. And they don't care what's wrong with it. So at that point, if there's something major, we always lock it out just to make sure for safety.
Yeah.
So. And then you can run the elevator here. You've got a normal inspection.
Mm-hmm.
You flip to inspect, and then you have the enable. You hold that for a second, and then I know the elevator's at floor 2 because it's telling me right here on display. We can run it up if we want, so I'm gonna run it up. Starter comes in, and the pump's running. And this tells you how much you're moving. We're 3 feet above the floor we were just at.
What
So
is
then-
that?
I don't know what it is. It's almost like soda or something.
Why
It's
would
sticky.
someone-
It's not oil.
Why would someone bring soda into the machine room?
Don't know. Could have been one of the elevator techs and he just made a mistake
It's
and
not a
spilled
smart.
his drink.
It's not a smart idea to put soda.
No. This floor needs to be repainted. It was painted last year, but being out here at the dock, they blow stuff under the door, and it's just, they don't take care of what they do. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run it back now, a little bit. So it's running down without the pump, it's just gravity. The elevator weight is going through that down part of the valve.
Mm-hmm.
We're 11 inches out from the floor, so I'm just going to turn it back loose, turn it back over to normal, and then it will search itself and find the floor. So it's running high speed right now. It's gonna, you'll hear it drop the high speed valve coil. Now it's running leveling speed. And see that valve there, that's a Maxton UC1 valve.
But that's a relay.
Yeah, that was the contactor dropping out itself. So when this drops out, it drops out this fault.
And then if you touch that while it's moving, it can kill you, right?
I'm sorry?
If you touch that while it's moving, it can kill you.
Oh
right?
yeah, it'll hurt you bad. Yeah, you'll be lucky to survive it. Because 480 and it's drawing 52 amps full load. It's not drawing that much now.
Is it true that drop keys can kill you if you don't know how to use it?
Drop key?
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's customers that think they know what they're doing, and there's a guy down in Tucson that he picked
I
the
have
board.
one at my house, but I never even took it out of the package.
Yeah, I wouldn't use it.
I didn't even take it out of the package because I'm not going to risk it.
If you don't have the training, don't use it. You really, certified elevator guys, the only people that should be using those keys. The customers, they shouldn't have them. They still buy them. Where they get them from? All right, I'm gonna
I have one, but I never took it out of the package.
Change their latches on their covers. They're a little harder to put back on.
But so it's moving now.
See, here is your test tag. So the last annual test was done 1/30 of 2023. This is our tag that I designed for us.
Oh, when are you going to inspect it again? When are you going to test it again?
Well, we do monthly inspections, but the next annual inspection where you test the oil line and all that good stuff,
Yeah.
the integrity of it, it'll be January of next year, 2024.
So it would just inspect
It's an annual test, and it says we have a box on here that's for the 1 year. They've gotten much more strict, and we can't use these tags anymore. Just recently, they told us we have to use the regular large tag, kind of like what Schindler uses. The tag I did does not spell, it's got the code, but it doesn't spell out everything like this one does.
Mm-hmm.
So they're asking for it to be this style from here on out, which is fine. They just weren't that strict here in Arizona until just recently. The city of Phoenix, they still accept this tag,
But not Scottsdale.
but not any of the state stuff, which would be Scottsdale, Glendale, Tempe, Mesa, all the Metro Phoenix, outside of Metro, the main downtown Phoenix itself. Got tongue-tied there for a second, but. And then this system here, that is for the camera inside the elevator. And that's part of the IBC code, and now that Arizona has adopted the 2019, it's part of the ASME, so it's part of elevator code now. They didn't have to have it, but the consultant wanted it.
What was it?
And it's not even-
What did Scottsdale Fashion Square use before Kone?
Oh, what company?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, it used to be
Dover.
Old Montgomery.
Did
Dover
they-
was here for a while. I think they've had just about everybody of
Yeah.
the major companies,
What about ThyssenKrupp?
but the majors don't do anything.
What about ThyssenKrupp?
They just collect money. Them two, they were out here for a while. They don't. Unfortunately, the elevator guys are great elevator guys throughout.
Yeah.
It's all about money, and these guys aren't allowed to do their jobs anymore because of the big companies want that dollar, and it's very sad. Thank God I don't have a whole lot left in my career, because I've been doing it 37 years.
Jeez.
But it's unfortunate what this trade has gone to. I love it so much, and it's getting bad. Do you want to go look at another elevator?
Sure.
Yeah, well, you want to go look at that Kone real quick before
Yeah.
the mall gets busy?
Yeah.
That jawless governor in the overhead, you need that tail weight for pressure. So when it does set the governor and it doesn't have a jaw to bite onto the rope, you got the weight of that tail weight to help get it more grip. It's coming down right here.
Yeah, someone called it.
And the only switches you got in that elevator shaft mechanical is just this bottom final right here, and you have a top final on top. So if it ever gets past that floor, then it'll shut it down. Cables look like they're about ready to read, don't they?
Yeah, I was just looking at that right now too.
Wait, what is about ready to?
The cables, see how they come down and it goes underneath the car?
Yeah.
That's called an underslung elevator. And on an underslung elevator, the cables, instead of connecting at the top, they connect coming around from the bottom. And the way they rope it, the cables, it's roped as what they call a 2-to-1. So you can use a smaller
There's
motor.
a counterweight.
Yes. You got your shiv up there. That counterweight shiv, we've lost some bearings on some of these around town. And it is hard to replace. It's just a big pain in the butt. Put new bearings in them.
Yeah.
Sometimes the shaft where the bearing is on, okay, so here, look at the cables. They're almost starting to get almost to a rusty, we call it rouge. We're gonna have to lubricate them, but Kone doesn't put lubricators on some of these older units. We figured out a different way to put them on the counterweight, and it works really well. So do you wanna go for a ride in it?
Yeah.
Let's go for a ride. I just wanted to be, we're rolling around till about 11 o'clock. We're gonna take it back to the 10
lines. I had to come over here because 17, yeah, 17. So I had to open it up, reset it. I can't find numbers on 17. Paperwork. So Aaron suggested that I call Mike. Mike might be able to pull up paperwork. The original paperwork. We didn't see. Right?
Yeah.
Can't find it.
He should. There's just no tag, no nothing.
Nothing.
How
And I tried to cross-reference the old write-ups.
Yeah.
Nothing.
it is have you ever had to fix the blue garage?
The bluegrass, yes.
Yeah.
You must have been out to the bluegrass. We talked about that quite a bit.
I haven't had to do a whole lot recently. Come on in. Ellen, where are you going?
Where are you headed?
Second word.
Second floor?
Yes.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you.
Look at this here. Glass doors and
First
stuff.
floor.
That makes
All
sense.
machinery is right.
Going up.
One more.
Yeah.
You want to? Sorry about that.
Why did it
Somebody may
stop?
have hit the outside button
Yeah, probably.
and walked away.
That happens a lot, especially with that rear one.
Yes.
Second floor.
Yeah, we'll take a good look at that one. He knows all about that one.
Thank you.
Going
Thank
down.
you.
You're going to the camera room?
Do you want to go look at the machine room, or do you want to look up here first?
Up here first.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll see. It's done.
You don't have any small shirts?
You want me to send it?
With Leon in there, I'm surprised you don't have any small shirts. Leon's small, right?
Well, no, he's large because he's getting chubby. Okay, I'm gonna send it down, okay? You got your motor up here with the disc. It's got dual brakes on it, and then they've got cooling fans up on top, that silver piece. And then here's that jawless governor right here. It's made by a company called Witter. They're okay. I'm used to the old stuff that was bulletproof. Look at them all tore up.
Oh, you talking about the mall? Yeah, they're trying to open it up. Wow. they're demolishing everything back there.
Boy, they sure are. They're supposed to, so you got these two escalators here, those other two straight ahead. They were talking about taking those two out.
No, the two at the end. At the
Oh,
end,
all the way
end,
down
yes.
by,
They're gonna
Nordstrom's?
that's where they're gonna put the two Otis.
oh, they are.
Allegedly.
Oh, okay.
Where we have to
Man, we
get
just put
codes.
new handrail jive chains and all kinds of stuff on
Well, no, that's the ones over here. So there's a bank of two at the very end, and there's a bank of four on the right. They just
that. No,
put
we
the
did
chains
those
on
chains right when we first started
Oh,
because
okay.
one of them was down. And they've been down for months and Schindler wasn't doing anything.
Okay. So yeah, those are the ones that are supposedly getting tore out, and the two new Otis ones are going back there.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, there's only a few of these E5000 escalators here. It's a little harder to get parts for them, and anything that's got Kone's name on it's expensive.
I remember a few years ago, this one was like this one was out of service for like a month.
This one was out of service for a month?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't
For
know
like
that.
for a month, for a few months. But now, one time when I was here during blackout season, it was broken still.
Huh.
And someone that I know who's interested in elevators too.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you know what
said-
probably happened is Schindler just couldn't get the parts or didn't. The way they have to get parts that for like foreign equipment, which would be not their equipment, but like Kone or the Thyssen stuff or the Dover stuff, they have to put in a request at their office. Then it has to be approved. Then it gets ordered. Sometimes they don't get it ordered, and it's a huge process. And the guys do their part. It's the office that fails. Coming up. Thing's got a nice handrail they put on it. All welded, stainless. It's crazy they did that. It's for looks, I guess. That's got an AMD door operator on it. Have you heard of those?
wait, what is it called?
AMD.
Yeah.
So
That's what a lot of Schindler uses, I believe, right?
they use their own.
They use EMI, I believe.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
They have their old stuff that they used to use, which was kind of a oh my gosh, I can't even think of the name of the. It's not EMI. It's John. What is it on the old like a motion, or I'm sorry, a Ascension 2000 that door, ECI.
Oh, that's what it is.
They use a lot of that.
Yeah.
GAL has a retrofit now.
For ECI, so when you look at the interlock, does it actually say the date when it's installed?
I don't think it says what the install date is on that. I think it's just got a casting number when they actually make it.
Sometimes when I look at it, it actually says the exact same date on the logo.
Really? Maybe
Okay.
not.
So sometimes they might be correct.
See, ThyssenKrupp's starting to use this same door operator they use here. AMD.
Do you think ThyssenKrupp is going downhill?
Which is technically it was all made by Witter.
But it is what's your opinion about Otis?
What door operator from Otis?
What is your opinion about Otis elevators?
One more time.
What's your opinion about
Oh,
Otis
my
elevators?
opinion on Otis? Some of their old stuff was great. Their newer stuff is really chintzy and crappy.
I know. It's
John has quite a few of those that he's worked on over the years. He's probably got more experience than I do. I've been out of the field for a little bit.
Especially those Otis hydrofits.
Yeah, Hydrofit. Yeah, that's
Those
a
are-
piece of junk.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a piece of junk.
The Gen 2s are better, in my opinion, than Night.
Gen 2s are okay.
Yeah.
We've had problems with the drives. It's hard to get drives for them. You got to go directly to Otis. There are some guys that rebuild them, but some of them, when they can't, you got to buy a new one, and Otis screws you on the software.
Have you heard of Gen 3 yet?
No, I heard it's coming out, but I haven't
Yeah.
seen one yet. Gen 3. Well, you want to go down and see that machine room real quick?
Yeah.
I'm sure John's probably got to roll out anyway. Was that a call or you just doing service?
No, I was gonna go to service. I try to get I try to get a lot of the outside mall stuff done early in the month,
Yeah.
so I can spend more time here.
Did Aaron, he hit some of your stuff yesterday. Look at all the freaking tags on that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
all of them. So yeah, so I helped him replace the chain, and then I had 4 pressure tests due So he did all the pressure tests.
Good. So the elevator control is all the way out here for this elevator.
Is this the green garage technically?
This one here is the brown garage.
Oh yeah, it's the brown garage.
Yeah, we're gonna look at stuff in there too.
Is this one the one that you're saying might get modernized? It's probably it is gonna get modernized.
Yeah, this one here, I have the contract on it, and I'm still in the process of getting equipment ordered. We're still waiting for drawings. Let's see, here's that battery backup that they use for the brakes.
No, it's just Kone on it.
Yep, this one here, this is a Kone Eco.
You see that?
Ecospace.
Yeah, so it's a KCM.
People
controller?
people call this EcoDisc, but it's not the correct name for these. Because the EcoDisc is the motor of it.
Yes, that's correct. So on here, we got 99 faults. It's kind of hard to see these are the newer CPU that they use an SD card to load software.
Yeah.
It's running now. But there's probably a lot of the faults are just door related. It says on this one fault 77, you know, it's got a door open command, but it doesn't always, I can't remember what a 77 is off the top of my head. So, even though I used to work on these all the time back in the day. If you don't work on it for a while, you forget it.
Kone is good. Well, it's not.
Okay, so here's something. When Greg replaced this relay goes back in.
It didn't go back in for some reason.
What they did when Schindler left, they took the battery backup out. And when you take the battery backup out, it'll fault itself out unless you remove this one relay. Well, we had one of our techs put this in, but they forgot to put the relay back in. So we just changed this not too long ago, maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. So if you do pull that battery backup for any reason, you got to take that or else it'll fall. I can't remember the name of the relay. I can't really see it.
So
kind of a rat's nest.
What do you mean a volt? If you take the what do you mean a volt?
Want to know about what?
What do you mean what do you mean by fault?
Oh, fault. It'll shut itself off.
72 faults, door faults. It'll shut if somebody holds the door and forces them open. Fault 72 will shut the car down.
So you want to see something? Watch this. So right now it's normal. Elevator's at the first floor. Doors are closed. It'll fall right away. And what that is safety string is open, which means your pit switch, your limits, your top and bottom final limit, I believe, is wired into that hoistway XH circuit. Mm-hmm. We just disconnected all the hoistway safety device right here. So if that one of those is turned off or something happens, it shuts the elevator down with a 21 and it will not let it run. So we're going to plug it back in. It'll clear itself. It did open the doors at one point. I don't know if somebody called it or else it automatically opened. I can't remember exactly how these used to do, but the doors are closed.
Someone probably was confused on why it wasn't closing.
So now the doors are closed.
Someone is probably confused on why it didn't close.
So here's the third floor. Oh, hang on, sorry. We'll go third floor car call. Look at that, I must have broke it. No access. Huh. I wonder why it says no access now. Let's go to menu 4. So it thinks it's on security for some reason. So right now, here's the mode.
What do you mean it thinks you it's on security? So it thinks it's
See that number 10?
Yeah.
When you look in the book, it tells you 10 is security. So it lost. For some reason, it thinks it's on security. It shouldn't do that. All we did was just disconnect the hatch wiring. So let me do this. Now it thinks it changed to a 1. It thinks now that it's on inspection. I'll turn it back where it is actually. Turn it back on.
Should clear it up.
Now it went to an 18 and it went back to a 10.
Weird.
It is weird, isn't it? It shouldn't be on security.
What do you think is wrong with it?
I'm not sure. That's weird. We just disconnected the hoistway.
Don, what do you think is wrong with it?
It's stuck in a faulted state.
Yeah. Well, what we'll do is let's just reset it.
It happens.
Sometimes the best medicine is power.
Yeah.
No, but he got himself stuck in a faulted state.
I don't know what this board is for here, unless it's for security or for something else. I don't know. I'd have to look at a drawing and see what it's for. This option board here is for fire service.
Mm-hmm.
This one is at number. You can't see it. It's getting old. It's set at number 2. It's addressed to number 2, so I'd have to look and see what a number 2 option board, when it's in that position, what are those inputs and outputs. So we're going to turn it back on. That just fired back up.
That's Siemens
Give it a
controller.
second. Doors have closed.
Should be clear now.
It picked up an 83. It's just going through the cycle of the doors. Now let's go back and see what mode it's in. It still thinks it's in security. Can you believe that? I think it's parameter 145. Let me look at it real quick. It should not be in security. See, we came over here, we broke an elevator to give John something to do today. And see, look, it says it's 0. Security's not hooked up if it's 45.
Why did it go into that phase? Just
I don't
like
know.
pulling-
Just pulling this. That's insane, isn't
It
it?
shouldn't. I don't think it should do that.
No, this is 44. I'm pretty sure it's 45 as security. That is insane. Yeah, makes no
But are you
sense.
gonna put it out of service for right now?
We may have to, huh?
Yeah.
It still thinks it's a 10. It's not gonna take call. Not till this gets cleared.
Where's the sign for it?
Normally the guys carry them in their pocket or in their tool bag.
Mm-hmm.
Little sticky signs on there. Yeah, for right now it just thinks that it's running it up out of the floor. I think its security is 10, but I can't remember off the top of my head. We'd have to look at a fault log.
Try clearing out the vault screws.
Not yet. I'm going to let it do a search. And then let it come down. I can't remember what 10 is.
And security and stuff on that state.
You know what? I wonder if it's this. Since we put it back in, that's the other thing we did.
Wait, what is that?
See if I can find some fault notes in here. It's a long shot, but
We like to put fault, the fault sheets. We
Yeah.
like to put them in our controls. All right, John, it's this relay. So we got to figure out why. I'll look at it when I get back to the shop.
It's the relay that was.
Yeah, this relay is what was causing it. So we just gotta. Do you see anywhere, John, where it's got? I can't see it.
it's got what?
What they call that relay on the very top. Here, let's all be at.
It says DC.
What's that?
It says AC, DC, MP, and PL are these 4 different things.
What's the second one you said? DC?
DC. Why would that say DC? But that's what it says up there.
Oh.
AC, DC, MP,
Well, we fixed it.
and PL.
Well, we got to figure out what that relay. Put it back in. Why did it cause that to happen?
That's probably why it didn't.
We're not gonna mess with it anymore. what I'll do is I'll look it up.
That's probably why they didn't put it in.
I just wonder if it's in the actual drawings for this job.
Now we know why they didn't put it in.
Yeah.
They just left it there.
They just left it out. See, it's a special circuit. You see, Kone, what they do most of the time, they number all their relays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a DC. I'll have to look
DC
at-
doesn't make sense why that would say DC right there.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
There's AC, DC, UPS 12-volt battery monitoring relay. It is part of that.
Yep.
So maybe,
Is that relay then?
well, maybe that relay is supposed to energize. You know what I mean? So it's main brake UPS 12-volt battery monitoring. So yeah, I think it needs. Maybe Greg did try to put it back in and it wouldn't run. He just left it out. I don't know. I'd have to call him, find out. Go back up here. Well, you got to see a little troubleshooting today.
See how you brake an elevator?
Yeah, exactly.
Cones are confusing.
Yeah.
You want to try everything you can do not to upset the elevator.
They can be finicky.
100%.
Yeah, they can be finicky. I'm going to run him across the street after we see these and let him look at those GALs. That modernization. Over in the main building. The office.
The office building, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That was a nice one.
That was a nice mod.
Dale did that one, didn't he?
He did part of it, and then somebody else, and I can't remember who it was. Off the top
Somebody
of my
left the
head.
gang box up.
Maybe somebody else's.
It's in the machine room, man.
Huh. I'll have to take a look because we'll have to come back and get that.
Wait, what did they leave in the machine room?
And listen, we call it a gang box, but what it is, it's a construction job box where you store your stuff and you lock it so people don't steal.
Yeah, there's one up there.
Yeah. That'll make Danny mad. 'Cause he's always looking for gang boxes.
John, how often is the you know the Dover over closer to Nordstrom?
Say that again?
Dover, it's closer to Nordstrom. It seems like it's low and flowed a lot.
That
That
one there,
Dover
that
is
did
down right now.
Is it?
Oh, it is?
That's the one I was talking about yesterday.
What is it again?
Smoke at the top of the hatch.
Oh, yeah. See, we don't maintain smoke detectors or anything fire related. Like fire devices that they use, building devices. We maintain the elevator stuff. Key switches and all that. We make sure all that operation works.
Is that one low? That one's low and fluid a lot, right?
That one has been low before.
Yes, it has
I-
been low before.
It's not now, though. Not
As-
with him.
Yeah.
He makes sure that stuff is working.
But yeah, it's funny that the small things that we don't control, like a smoke, can shut down an elevator and leave it down.
So there may be, this is a special battery backup that had a 9-pin serial on the back. I wonder if it's hooked up. But we're missing something that's not hooked up. That's part of that monitoring. I still have not seen the battery backup for the brakes.
They just have a Cat 5 hooked up to it.
Do you need to put it out of service though?
No, it's running now. See, when it says 4, 1, and then 0, this is the mode it's in. 0 means that it's okay, it's running. If you have a 3, that means it's on fire service.
What if it's a 2?
2, I can't remember what that is. If that's search mode,
So they have all this hooked up to where that relay is supposed to go, but nothing there.
Okay, so out of the battery backup, it's got a connector on there for 12 volt, and that pulls in that. You got an AC relay and a DC relay. See,
Yeah.
you got a connector on the back of it where it goes 12 volts. Goes.
This is totally not a planned.
What's that?
This is not planned thing.
This was not planned.
No, this was not planned. This was spur of the moment.
We're gonna check that AC voltage first.
But you need to turn it off first because the day is
No,
getting.
because we want to
Gotta
check
check
it
voltage.
while it's got power.
Okay.
Yeah, we you have to be careful, but you want to check it while it's got. Man, this magnet's terrible.
What's wrong with that? I'm going to open it up and it's a
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I like that little one. Different than what I've used.
That is the one you bought me.
Old school, man.
This is the one you got me. I just got a magnet added to it.
Find the right terminal.
Right there, yeah.
There's no power coming out. Let's go to the AC and see if we got anything on the AC. There's nothing there either. That's why it's not working.
That's why the battery kit is not working.
Yeah, it's not working correctly.
With the right wire.
I want to make
That
sure.
could be that blue one.
Yeah.
No, that blue one's on the bottom. The red one's above it.
Yeah, see, blue. Here's a DC one. And then, sorry, it is the red. Why are we on? Oh, they're both DC relays. And there's nothing. Nothing coming out. Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. Because it says it's working.
Full power.
It's got full power right now. It's at 90%. Maybe something's wrong with the connector. Huh. Yeah, even this other one doesn't have anything on it. There's not many of these like this when they're doing this certain battery backup, so I have another one of these. I ordered two.
Yeah, but it says
I think there's, well, let's go to escape. Maybe it's not, the output is wrong. Well, it says load protected. Huh.
I'm gonna call Greg.
Wonder if he ever put the relay in. Or maybe he tried, it didn't work, he just walked off.
So I think that might be a possibility.
Does Greg also work on them all too?
Is it starting back up
He
again?
used to work at the mall a lot.
Yeah, he was a technician that was out here before John.
Battery mode. Mode protected. Normal mode.
We may have to go worst case.
So what is this? Is this supposed? I'm not familiar with these. Isn't this supposed to indicate what's going out? Efficiency 0%.
Yes, it's on normal mode. The battery looks like it's full, but I don't know. And the other thing is normal mode.
Shouldn't there only be power over there if the power's off?
No, it's going to feed power off obviously up here to this relay. So let me see one more. Let me try it again. Still nothing, even after you did anything. Well,
These are the right ones, yes.
okay.
This one, and this one. DC, AC. Yep.
Doesn't make sense.
Whole lot of nothing.
Some of these you don't even have to have. We could always see there's AC loss, so that would. But why would that AC? Look, you got a 240 volt AC here,
Yeah.
but that's a 12 volt one. Doesn't that top one say AC?
Yes.
Oh, so you know what it is? It's probably a back contact in that thing. It goes to the option board. Well, we're going to have to figure that out. I'm going to take a picture of this. We got to keep going. Because I don't want his dad to worry when we're late, you know. I want to show him those T3s.
Walk over there from here.
Yeah, I want to show him. And then we're going to walk over to...
Oh, I was thinking the office building, but yeah, you can walk over there from here to the garage is right here.
Let me do some research, John.
Yeah.
I took a picture of the drawing.
I'm a little curious about that myself.
I'm going to clear the faults, too. Side of this so the contact works. So you ready? I'm going to put in a top floor call. That's almost at the top. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's got plenty of power. It does, it's got plenty of oil. There may be something wrong with the pump.
Probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of oil in here. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go down to 1C. Now it's running down. Now I'm going to put another TC in it. It's really full of oil. It's got a lot of oil in it.
Probably something with the pump.
Yeah, well, you betcha. It's got a newer pump on it too. So where it sucks the oil, it did kind of drop down just a little bit where it got a little bit of air in there, and that's what you heard on that elevator. So I'm gonna have John put some more in it anyway.
Put some more oil.
Yeah, we'll put some more oil in it. It'll be good to go. It'll be a little bit better. Can't put much in it. I can tell you that. 'Cause there's not very much room in that tank. The tank's kind of small. Oh, you remember how you looked at that other door operator that had that handheld programmer?
Yeah.
This one's so old, you adjust these resistors up here for all the speeds and
Jeez.
everything. Yeah, it's old stuff. It's old stuff. All right, let's go. There's a room next door. I'm gonna show you something of that room. Give me some squeeze back when I get there. So this room is where we keep parts and all this other stuff. So you have, you'll like this. This is kind of neat. This is where we keep our parts. Listen to this. That's the escalator. There's the other escalator.
Nice.
You can hear the steps and the chains rolling around. So, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. do you think you're gonna fix the escalator out there?
Well, we're not sure when the motor's coming. The motor is supposed to be here sometime in the next week or two. The motor, since it's a Schindler, and they don't have any locally, they had none in their parts company.
Mm-hmm.
They here, this is the Montgomery service tool. The old
Nice.
Montgomery. It says Kone on it now, but this is what you use.
Wait, why did it say Kone?
Well, after they bought them out, this is probably a newer one, but originally it was made by Montgomery. But some of the escalators you have to plug in, and you log in, and you see what your faults are. That's on that E5000 and stuff. So make sure it was in here.
So you're gonna call John in and tell him to put it more oil in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna have him throw 5 more gallons in.
There's not really that much.
No, it's really not, but that tank is almost all the way full.
How much gallons does it hold?
That one I'm not sure. But I will tell you that I think that tank originally when they put it in is too small. Because that's the reservoir for all the oil for that piston and cylinder. So they undersized it or something, but it's just not very big.
Mm-hmm.
Here's all the 5 years.
Oh, the blue garage. I see blue garage up there.
Yep. Got the green garage. Some of them though are hydraulic elevators, so they kind of got both. 44 and then 39 is due this year. 39 was that glass elevator we were just on. Remember the KCM, the Kone KCM?
Yeah. The Kone Ecospace.
Yep. So the numbers kind of jump around. So here's all the elevators. Here's all the escalators out here. So it's a lot of stuff.
Jeez.
Yep, a lot of stuff. Schindler just wasn't maintaining it, so it's been kind of tough. Trying to catch up.
I could definitely tell that they weren't maintaining the blue garage one.
Yeah, they weren't doing much. Well, let's go over to the brown. We might just call your dad and tell him we might be just a little bit late. I don't want him to worry.
Yeah.
This one over here it's not working. And I'll show you why.
They put a new cab in this.
What's that?
This looks like a new cab.
Yeah, it's a new cab. It might be a snap cab. Most of the time it says back in the corners, snap cab, but
Probably is. It's not.
not Thyssen, but Schindler put in these new panels, and they could never figure out how to make the positioning indicators work, so they left them off.
It was working before.
Probably when they had the old panel,
Was
but they
it,
never wired them in. They don't have any wiring going to them.
it was the last time I'd written this one.
Yeah. This one here is broken. And let's go upstairs and I'll show you. The rest of the way we gotta go stairs up. People are sticking chairs and garbage up here.
Why?
The heat up here. The birds, they roost up here on these pipes, sprinkler pipes.
Mm-hmm.
This is an old. This is old doing.
These are traction.
What's that?
Are these traction?
Yes. So if you look, they've got generators. Okay. You look, this one's turned off. You don't see it spinning. What the deal is with these is that these are the first ones we're going to do. The main CPU for this elevator is bad, and you can't get it anymore. Nobody wanted to even touch it to fix it. This one's working. So, been taking parts out of this one to make this one run. But this is a Dover T3, and I think maybe it was...
When did Troublematic?
What's that?
Did Troublematic?
Yes. Yeah, that's why they call it T for short.
Oh yeah.
Because you got T3, you got T4. There's even some T2s out there.
One time online, there's like a Dover Troublematic at like a hotel, like a palace hotel. That one was not retained.
Really?
And it got really bad, and they decided to modernize it finally.
This one here, this one won't run again. See, now it's running, see it? The governor's over here spinning. All this stuff's all getting replaced. Everything.
Even the buttons.
What's that?
Even the buttons.
Yeah, the buttons, what I'll do is I'll send you a picture. The actual prints, and it shows which buttons we're going to do. I'm still working on the drawings right now with Innovation, the fixture manufacturer, and still trying to dial them in. The machines are coming.
Can you let me know when it's done?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send you what I've got so far if you want to see.
Can you let me know when the mod is done?
Sure. If you want to come by while we're doing the mod, you can see it if you like.
Okay, sure.
Here, come on this way. I'll show you this. And then, on this, oops, sorry, wrong side. Here's all your motor and generator contactors. You got some generator resistors. You got some rectifiers here, some SCRs, some power supplies, overload. So basically this pretty much runs all the generator and the motor. It's old school. There's no real, like you've seen like a digital drive, that stuff wasn't even thought of. Not the digital.
At least I'm surprised that these are still running.
Yeah. Yeah, it costs a lot of money to do these. But anyway, yeah, you get to see these. These are old. What I'm thinking about doing with the new machines, when I go to bring them in, I'm going to move all this electrical here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a hole in this wall. And we're going to have a forklift, and we're going to forklift it into the machinery and set it in, and then rebuild the wall. It's all concrete. So, if not, we got to try to take the machines up the stairs.
But so this is the Scottsdale Fashion Square building?
Yes,
Office building.
that's correct. This one is a hydraulic elevator. You can look inside. This one's got front rear opening.
Nice.
The only rear opening is here on this floor.
It's a little early for it to say that.
Yeah. See these, we put new doors on, new tracks, all that.
Yeah.
These are the linears also where it's a belt driven. So.
Is this a new cab?
No. They only did new car doors and new car station.
This one is 5.4s.
We did new ceiling panels. And then I always put these in. It says what elevator, and that covers up the old position indicator.
Does
'Cause
that
I like my position indicators to be in the car station.
Yeah, that's
It's
actually
easier wiring.
It's actually smart that you actually covered it instead of just putting it as a plate.
Yeah. Then look at this here. Isn't that a weird capacity?
Yeah.
It's an odd one, isn't it? Really, it's,
Fifth floor.
you know, this size car would be about 4,500 pounds. So, that's,
Okay, that didn't say okay to enter for some reason.
what's that?
That didn't say okay to enter for some reason.
Yep. So let's go over here to the other elevators. I'll show you some stuff here. We have to go downstairs. Well,
Are
I
these-
have a key up here. Me not.
Are these both are all of these hydraulics?
All of these are traction.
Oh, that's
Let's see if we can
interesting.
go up. So this is my favorite button here. This is the PB35. I like that one the best because I like the ring.
Or
It's
are these
classic.
innovation? I thought these were innovation premier.
Those are innovation, yes.
Are these innovation premier prestige?
No, these are still the Premier Prestige. Those are the ones that are like the push button cover plates that like snap on. These are flush mount, but I use the. They call the some of those car stations.
There's a basement.
Yeah, let's go down there. What's that?
There's a basement.
Yes,
How come the front elevator doesn't go down to the basement?
it does not go down.
Weird.
Yeah, no, weird. So, this way didn't do a very good job of. Yeah, it just it bothers me when I see stuff like
Basement.
this. Okay.
Okay, this one's a little.
A little bit low.
Yeah.
So originally it only had one push button on that side over there. We added this one here.
So this is GAL, right?
Yes. Well, let's go this way. I'll show you that we have, here's our lockbox.
This is the machine room, right?
This is for the hydraulic elevator.
Dirty water fountain.
Oh, what's that?
I said dirty water fountain.
That's pretty gross, isn't it?
You maintain a lot of elevators around the valley.
We do. We have 2,500.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a lot. So there's just a parts cabinet. That was in the spec to have a parts cabinet in here.
Mm-hmm.
Their disconnect originally was back here, so we had them redo the power and then bring it up by the door, which makes it nice. So put a door stop here.
How expensive is it? Is it cheap to modernize an elevator or expensive?
It's very expensive. It's very expensive. So I'll show you this. This is a GAL door operator. We did another Bormax pump unit, but this is a GAL. They're pretty nice.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
So
Not
this
much
is
to it.
so this is original, right?
This is brand new. This was done last year. So it's Wi-Fi.
Don't tell that we say that in.
Oh, I'll call it back.
Was it one of your employees?
No, it was actually the mall. The guy that runs the mall.
But that's kind of funny that you were just there.
I know, isn't that something?
Maybe they saw you.
Could be. Let me go here. I'm gonna find something for you. Mine's an older version. It may not work. Let me find it. This is a newer phone too. It may not have it on here. Galaxy E-Hydro. So GAL Galaxy is what they call this. E-Hydro. Let's see if it picks it up. It may not. Because I think this is an older version.
That's how it controls.
You can look at faults and everything all off your cell phone.
Nice.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, for some reason it's not picking it up. Let me make sure my Wi-Fi's on. I've only done these a couple times, so I'll be honest with you. I'm not the. We have 3 of these that we did. I adjusted the first 2, and then I had one of the other guys adjust this one. Yeah, it doesn't want to pick it up for some reason. I think it's this one's pretty old. Maybe a newer one. Maybe that's why it's not catching it.
You think it needs to be updated?
It probably needs to be updated. Keeps saying connection timeout. Wi-Fi may not be in range. Let's try again. See, it's right here, and it is good when it's got the green.
Mm-hmm.